Okay, so we talked about adding weight session to session, which makes sense if my goal is to get stronger. But why does that actually work? Why am I actually able to lift more weights 2 days after I lifted a little bit less? Something called the Stress-Recovery-Adaptation Cycle. Let me put it to you this way. Right now, you have some baseline of strength. I have no idea what it is, but based off your genetics, what you do for work, what you did as a kid, you have some baseline of strength. Let's just draw your baseline here. Now, you walk into the gym or you get this video and you're gonna squat. And so you learn the mechanics and then you load the bar as heavy as you can where your form's still perfect and you do 3 sets of 5. Boom! That's a stress applied to your baseline. Here you were going on through life and all of a sudden you squatted, deadlifted, pressed with heavy weights. Your body as a living organism is gonna go down into recovery mode. Everything you've read about build the muscles down, tear them back up, there's some truth to that. Your body's gonna recover, and how do you recover? You recover from eating, sleeping, and not doing more workouts, actually letting yourself recover. And if you do that, your body will start to return to the baseline. It'll repair itself. Think about when you cut your arm and it's bleeding and then it starts to scab and heal up, right? That's your body taking care of itself. Now, when it returns to the baseline, back to where it was before you started squatting, as it gets there, it's gonna go, this may happen to me again, and it's going to adapt. Living organisms prepare themselves for a greater stress. So now it's here. Now, this is a very important window of opportunity for you to get your butt back in the gym and squat again. So let's say you did 100 pounds on this day. Now I'm gonna come back on 2 days later, once this adaptation has occurred, and I'm gonna squat 105 pounds. What does that do? Boom, new stress. Body goes down into recovery mode, starts to return to the baseline. I better prepare in case this happens again. And here it is here. What do? You come back to the gym and you do 110. This is the stress recovery adaptation cycle. This is why you can take an old person and make them strong, etc. It works for everyone. Here's a graph that kind of shows how it all plays out. So when you walk into the gym for the first time, you're down here somewhere. You're not very strong because you've never done this. Now, when you first start doing this, you are going to get strong very fast. Why is that? Remember what I drew on the board. You're adding a little weight each time. Each time you come into the gym, you're adding 5 to 10 more pounds to those exercises. That's going to result in your strength performance going up very quickly. Why? Because your adaptation is high. You're able to adapt quickly to the stresses you're applying to your body, most likely because they're not that great. A 100-pound squat is not near as stressful as a 500-pound squat. But when you're first getting started, you'll adapt every 48 hours. That's what we call the novice. And we call the novice someone that can add weight each session. Now, the stronger you get, the more you see adaptation to come down. Why is that? Well, like I said, a 500-pound squat is much more stressful than a 100-pound squat. So the stronger you get, now the longer between sessions you need of adding weight. Meaning, you'll still probably go to the gym 3 days a week, but you may only add weight to your squat on Mondays and your deadlifts on Fridays instead of every single session adding weight. This is what we call the intermediate lifter, someone that organizes his workouts over the course of 7 days so that he gets an increase in strength performance weekly. Now, the further along you go, the more adaptation comes down, and we start to introduce some complexity, right? Training complexity. What did I say before? If I can do 4 exercises and add 5 to 10 pounds each time and prove that I'm getting stronger, why would I do anything else? But if I did that, if we all did that, we'd all be squatting 1,000 pounds for 3 sets of 5. At some point, it cuts off. And it's different for everyone because Some people on Sunday mornings put on a football helmet and get paid millions of dollars to play a sport, and some people like you purchase this video to learn how to get stronger. That's okay, that's called genetics, and we have no control over how great our genetic potential is. What we have control over is how close I get to my genetic potential. And so I'm trying to do everything I can to be a novice as long as I can, an intermediate as long as I can, to get my strength higher and higher. It's the law of diminishing returns. At some point, you'd have to be doing so much weight that it'd be too stressful to recover to, but don't worry about that right now. We want to get you from here to there. Complexity and all those things come later. Right now, just focus on the basic lifts.